Just in case you've forgotten, today, spring forward, I had to do something to offset the craziness of daylight savings. You'll be able to tell I'm not a fan of daylight savings. And so we're doing the spring forward sale, and today is the last day. I usually don't start my lives talking about a sale. My goal is that nobody comes back at me tomorrow and says, I didn't know about the sale, because it ends today. We have some of our best pricing on the magnesium soak. We have buy one, get one free on the magnesium spray. The magnesium muscle cream is on sale. The lip balms, oh my gosh, these are my little have to go to little moment of taking a breath, smelling, and putting some on my lips. It's on sale today. Today's the last day, the spring forward magnesium sale. Why are we talking about magnesium? Simple. I am ending magnesium deficiency by 2055. And I'd love to invite you on the journey with me to be a part of the effort that it will take to do that. And what will it take to do that? Education and people understanding that there are magnesium products that can give you some benefits. And then there are magnesium products that change your interstitial levels of magnesium. That's my goal. Changing the interstitial levels of magnesium in my body so that my body has enough magnesium to do what it needs to do with the magnesium. This is not processed from flakes. It is sea brine from the most pristine layer of an ancient seabed. It comes from the Zechstein inside, the only mine that has a European Union stamp of approval to use on your body. We don't want it coming from Russia. We don't want it coming from Utah, even though I live here in Utah, because those are high in heavy metals and arsenic. We want the cleanest source, Zechstein Inside, spring forward. It's on sale right now. You might need some chromium to go along with it. Let's talk about the role that chromium plays with magnesium. Now, you've heard me talk about desiccated liver before. I love this desiccated liver because it's grass-fed and grass finished, and I pay extra to have it slowly processed so that it maintains the nutrients, the B vitamins, the vitamin A, and the peptides that your body need to help you hold on to your magnesium. So the two work together. There's a synergy that's created with both of these. I want to talk today about chromium and the role that it plays with magnesium as you soak in Living the Good Life Naturally's magnesium soak for 20 minutes to uptake the magnesium and move your interstitial levels. I don't think I've talked about this before, and I should have. Chromium is an important piece. I got a telephone call over the weekend. It was from a number that I didn't know. I thought it was about my house. I'm so glad I answered it because typically I don't if I don't know the number. And she said, basically, a quick summary of a long, beautiful call was, Kristen, there are several of us doing the magnesium morning trifecta. Remember that? Magnesium morning trifecta is soaking in magnesium, walking, and collecting sunshine in the first 2 hours of the morning. And she said, I'm doing it with several other women, and they are having mass benefits. Like it's game changing for them. But it hasn't made that much of a difference for me. And I'm frustrated because I'm doing the same thing that they're doing. At this point, that's when we need to put our investigative reporter hat on because there's a crack in the foundation. If you are doing the action and you are not reaping the benefit, we need to figure out why. And the beautiful thing of being a magnesium advocate and talking about magnesium for the last 25 years is that I've been taught some things that I want to share with you today. And it could be chromium. And let's talk about why. Now, chromium and magnesium go hand in hand. And it's another one of those synergistic blends. For example, I always think of it in terms of relationship. And remember, spring forward sale, we have great sale prices going on right now. Go check out livingthegoodlifenaturally.com. Okay, so I'm good on my own. I'm better with my husband. I'm just better. He lifts me. We're better together than if I'm on my own, even though I'm good on my own. That's how magnesium and chromium are. They're each good on their own, but you bring the two of them together and they're the dynamic duo. And let's talk about why. So, the magnesium morning trifecta, the benefits are coming from reducing inflammation, collecting sunshine, the beautiful light that comes in the morning that increases the wave in your cell, and you're lowering insulin resistance. You're improving communication in the cell because of the walking and the sunshine and the magnesium, and we're activating vitamin D levels. And the trifecta of all of those things happening create incredible health benefits to help you build a strong foundation. And so, as she walked in this group of friends, they were getting benefits. They were waking up. She said, Kristen, you can see it in the morning. They're more energized. Several of them are losing weight. Their mental capacity is better. And I'm not seeing the difference. Could be chromium. When we eat, when we eat food, glucose, and glucose has been vilified. We need glucose. Our cells need glucose. So we eat, and glucose goes into the cell, right? Well, if it doesn't have insulin, the glucose without insulin is like a shard of glass and it damages the cell. Insulin protects it. And so the insulin says, hey, are you hungry, cell? Here's some glucose. Here's some glucose for energy to do all the things that the cell needs to do. But when that ratio gets off, or when chromium becomes deficient, the receptor is mismanaged. Chromium helps to reset that receptor to bring insulin in proper ratios with glucose. How are your chromium levels? Chromium is a simple one. It's a trace element. It's a micronutrient that is really simple to get from our food. Broccoli, whole grains. If you've ever had lots of sugars, or if you've ever eaten lots of processed foods, your chromium could be off. And I cannot wait to hear back from her to find out if her adding more chromium is that connection piece to bring the balance of insulin resistance and walk away from it. And you can have all the signs of insulin resistance for up to 2 years before insulin resistance shows up technically in your blood work, but you can have all the signs of it. And so that chromium piece becomes incredibly important if you know that you've had times in your life that you've eaten lots of sugar or lots of processed carbs, because chromium is found in whole grains. Broccoli is another great one. I always like to turn to food first. Even imperfectly, with the imperfect food options we have right now, food is still medicine and it heals. Some people want to supplement with chromium because you can very inexpensively purchase a chromium supplement. If you're going to do that, you need to do a little bit of research. Remember, I'm not a doctor. I'm not diagnosing. I'm not prescribing. I'm not telling you what to do. You and I are just talking because we have a common goal of ending magnesium deficiency by 2055 so that our children are raised and stepping into their full on potential. So we are stepping into our full on potential. And you can't do that if you're deficient in magnesium. And so when we're looking at that chromium piece, if you got that spare tire around your belly, if you're having a hard time losing weight, if you've ever had the thought, I'm trying all of these things and nothing works, it might be that your magnesium needs some chromium. Whole grains, broccoli are great options. If you are going to supplement with chromium, though, there are some things that you need to be aware of. And those are things like if you're on steroids, if you're taking certain medications, if you're taking anti inflammatories, if you are on specific thyroid medications, not all of them, but some. You need to be really careful about supplementing because remember, when you're buying chromium as a supplement, it's oral, isolated, synthetic nutrition. And we've got to be more careful with it than if we're getting it from a food source. Now, the beautiful thing with chromium is really simple to get those levels up with a food source. Whole grains, broccoli are my two favorite ways to do that. That chromium piece protects your cell from the glucose and it brings the balance back like it's supposed to. And magnesium and chromium together create incredible synergy, and it could be the missing piece. And that's why it's such an individual journey to create optimal health. She's walking with a group of women, and they are all focused on the magnesium morning trifecta of collecting that sunshine, walking, and soaking in magnesium. But she wasn't seeing the same benefit that her friends were getting. And that's where we have to start asking why. And I think this is the gap that if we understand this gap that we can create, that it makes it easier to create health because in those gap moments, we can get frustrated, discouraged, give up, and say nothing ever works for me. I know I did that. And it extended my journey of creating health by years because I would give up. I'd see things work for other people. It didn't work for me. I didn't understand this beautiful, intricate body of mine needed a few little things that the people around me didn't need. I was missing some things that other people weren't missing. And figuring that out, it's worth it. Can it feel hard sometimes? Absolutely. Can it feel overwhelming sometimes? Absolutely. Is it worth it always? Absolutely. Waking up in the morning feeling good. Your health touches everything, every relationship, every action, every single part of your life, financial, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, every single part of your life, your health can increase and enrich that or decrease. And so, is it worth it? Absolutely, it is. Determining, is chromium the missing piece for me? And then being willing to recognize you're not going to get that answer in a day. Patience. What is it my husband says? Patience, Padawan. He's a Star Wars guy. I think it's from Star Wars. I think that's a Star Wars reference. But patience, you're building a relationship with your body. You're teaching your body that you are there for it to listen. If you have a friend and that friend never listens to you, you're going to quit talking to that friend because you don't have a trust bank. They won't be there for you to listen to. Your body's the same way. How's the relationship with your body? Are you listening? You don't get feedback about chromium in a day or a week. It might be 2 weeks. It might be 4 weeks. And that's where patience comes in. Ask yourself, how long have I felt not well? How long has it been? I bet it's been more than a day. And you need to give it more than a day to get that feedback from your body if chromium is the missing piece for you, because chromium and magnesium go hand in hand. Chromium is that piece in your body that protects and allows the glucose to enter and bind at the receptor site and do what it needs to do. But if you've ever had too much insulin being produced, too much glucose happening, that's where chromium disengages. And so stepping in and course correcting that nutrient can help with insulin resistance. Are you foggy in your brain? Is your thinking clear? Chromium could play a part of that. Now, if you're going to supplement, we talked about some reasons that you wouldn't supplement. If you're on specific thyroid medications, if you're on prednisone, if you're taking anti-inflammatories, types of things. Oh, antacids are another one that supplementing with the synthetic version, you'll need to get up from food. Making sure that you've got that and then just watching what are the benefits. And we can set ourselves up to fail right here in that if you're looking for everything to be better with one thing, you're setting yourself up to fail. We're looking for minor nuances, just little teeny tiny minor nuances. And if we're looking for everything to be perfect and everything to be fixed, we'll miss the nuances. And then we miss building the relationship with our body because sometimes we feel let down by our body. Sometimes we've cut it off. Sometimes we're not listening to it. Simple things like you going to the bathroom when you feel like you have to go to the bathroom. I know that sounds really simple, but it is powerful at showing your body, hey, I'm listening. You sent the signal, I need to use the bathroom, and I'm going right now to use the bathroom. Or hydration. You sent the signal that you're thirsty, I'm drinking water. And actually, by the time you got the signal of being thirsty, you've been thirsty for a while. Are you picking up on that communication and taking action? Because ending magnesium deficiency by 2055 is the goal. That is the goal. Oh, Melinda, that is such a great question. Chromium picolinate. I have the hardest time saying that word. Picolinate. There we go. Picolinate. If I were going to supplement with chromium, chromium is not something I supplement with. I would get it from food first. That's me. And you do you. So you do whatever is best for you. And I do see some people, if you've been deficient for a while and you haven't had that chromium piece to work with your magnesium, then supplementation might be a really good fit. I did not mean that to come across and throw any shame if you're supplementing. But yes, picolinate is the most absorbable form. And then the next thing I would look for is the least amount of additives, just the least amount of additives. And making sure that it's a good fit for you, because chromium's powerful. It's a powerful nutrient. And when it's isolated in pill form, there are some things that you need to be careful about. But yes, if I were going to, that's what I would look at. Okay, the BOGO sale. The BOGO, Becky, is the spray. And so if you'll go to the sale page, if you'll go to living, let's see, let me pull it up, Becky, right here. Let me pull up so I can kind of walk you through this. So living the good life naturally. I shouldn't have sang. That's not my thing. Okay, so let me go here to the website. I'm on Living the Good Life Naturally, Becky. And if you go to sale items, that's where you're going to see all of the different sale. For example, we have the bundle, $79, and the bundle gives you the soak, the spray, the lotion, the muscle cream, and the lip balm for $79. That's 33% off. 33% off. Or maybe you just want to do the soak, it's 26% off. Or maybe you just want the muscle cream, it's 25% off. The BOGO of the spray is buy one, get one, makes it half price. The regular lip balms are half off. And so if you go to the front page of the website and then click on sale items, it will show you the entire spring forward sale. And it ends tonight. No ifs, ands, or buts. I will get emails, I will get texts, we will get calls, but Kristen, this or that, I have to call that boundary and say done, because the hours that team puts in, how many people I need to have here to get the orders out in a timely manner during the sale. There's lots of pieces that have to be balanced. And so the sale ends today. The sale ends today. Spring forward. It was just my way. It was a last minute sale, but I just, oh, good grief. Daylight savings is frustrating to me. It's not good for us. It's not good for the inflammation levels in our body. Heart attacks go up today. Inflammation goes up today because of the change of light at the cellular level. Yesterday, my husband and I walked and walked and walked and walked. We found a beautiful park by our new home, and we just walked and just collected that sunshine, knowing that it was going to be shifting in our bodies. And that shift that's completely out of our control, that shift increases inflammation across the board. And so we really have been focused on collecting sunshine to help offset that. And magnesium also helps offset that. And I turned to my husband and said, I'm running a sale to help other people offset what this silly daylight savings does. Now in Utah, the state legislation almost passed not doing away with it. When we lived in Arizona, we didn't have daylight savings, and it was glorious. Never had to mess with it. It's hard on kids. It's hard on their sleep schedule. It's hard on parents and families, and it's just hard on your body. So that's why I did the spring forward sale. Go to the website, livingthegoodlifenaturally.com. Check out on the top left-hand corner, it says home, shop, learn, blog, and then sale items. And the sale items page has our entire magnesium spring forward sale to help you offset daylight savings. Oh, you're so welcome, T-Mum28, for explaining the importance of chromium. My doctor put me on it with niacin and didn't understand the importance. By that time of my doctor's, information overload is real. And I think it's important that we're okay with information overload. What a beautiful thing that we have all this information, and trust the process, that as we're in the process of learning, that we'll put those pieces together. That chromium piece is incredibly important, because if you don't have enough chromium, you will never walk away from insulin resistance, and higher inflammation levels, no matter how much magnesium you soak in, you'll get limited benefit. And I want you getting full benefit. And the telephone call that I had this weekend, as I was talking and just asking her questions, I thought, oh, this might be chromium. And if she's missing that chromium piece, that's why she's not getting the full benefit of the magnesium morning trifecta. And so she needed it a little bit different application than the women at her office that she's walking with. All of them are participating in the magnesium morning trifecta, and they were all seeing benefits, and she just wasn't feeling it. And then she said, I started to feel really lonely and alienated, and like nothing works for me. I'm putting the work in and nothing works. And then frustration rises, and then you lose your magnesium more. So here's the thing. We just need to hang out and talk with each other and share and learn together so that we can put those pieces together on our journey. And remember that imperfect action creates optimal health. I'm living proof right here. Imperfect action creates optimal health. In fact, this weekend, the end of last weekend, I don't like to talk about my story about getting out of the wheelchair and the failed surgery and the cadaver graft that was bought off market, because it's not my memories. I don't remember that. And anyway, I don't love talking about it. I also recognize, though, that people want to know that story. What got me started in magnesium, and what made the difference? And why did my neighbors start asking me questions? Because they saw the difference of what happened after I started soaking and the things that I was learning and sharing. And it made me feel so good to take some of the crazy that happened with my family and be able to help someone else. And that was healing me. And so it wasn't me just helping them, it was them helping me, as I recognized, oh, I'm learning some cool things. And it brought back so much emotion and that feeling of hopelessness and overwhelm, and truly thinking I've tried everything. I haven't, though. It was a lie. It was a lie. I hadn't tried everything. And you can't give up. Please don't give up. Please don't give up. I'm going to hold that space with you. I'm going to hold it big. Don't give up. I know it's been overwhelming and I know it's been hard, but it's worth it. I woke up this morning, even with daylight savings, so excited to be where I was at, love on people, show up here for the live, you and I, because I knew we'd get to connect. And that's always a good thing. Healthy women are connected women. Okay, let's hop back over here. Oh, call for info, no answer. So Becky, is what we do. There's a balance of keeping the price of magnesium low, even though my pricing on magnesium has gone up. People don't realize that. I'm paying more for magnesium than I've ever paid, but I've kept your prices the same. And the way I've been able to do that is to keep a very small, tightly functional group of women that support living the good life naturally. And so I don't have someone on staff that just answers telephone calls in the moment. I have people that there's an amazing group of women that will answer that call, that will listen to the message that you leave and then return the message. And that allows me to keep payroll hours down, to keep your magnesium price the same, because there was a massive increase of magnesium and I was able to keep the price the same because team works so tightly and so efficiently. And so living the good life naturally does not have a person that just sits and answers the telephone as they come in live. We work it in a system, and that system is to listen to the recording and then respond. And we respond most of the time that day, but it's not a live person. And the upside for you is that magnesium sale price is amazing. And the downside is that it does take a little bit to get back with you. So I hope that helps you understand why they didn't answer in the moment. Wanted the soak and the lip balm. Oh, yeah, you can grab another bundle or you can buy those separately. The bundle is better pricing, so it's 33% off the bundle price. But if you didn't want to do the whole bundle, you could grab just the lip balms. On the bundle, you don't get the choice of lip balms. This one's my favorite right here. I don't know why it's not everyone's favorite. This one's my favorite. Most people, this is their favorite, the vanilla, but this one is my favorite. And so you might want to buy those separately so you can choose which one is your favorite. A good friend, Nicole, the lemon is her favorite. So you might want to buy those separately. So we've got lots of options over on that sale page. Okay, let's see. I think. Oh, hello from Chicago, Star Wanderer. I love that, Star Wanderer. That just makes me think of all sorts of things. Oh, may I share something that I did over the weekend that was so settling to me? Because when we're creating moments of grounding, really grounding ourselves, we hold on to magnesium more efficiently. And my goal is that I do minimum soaking for maximum benefits. I have moved a lot in my life as a young child and in my adult life. I've moved a lot. And it's something that I still am learning to embrace it. It's unsettling to me at a really deep level. It's unsettling. And I get teary and I get more reactive. And it's just, I'm learning and I still have a lot to learn. And this move has brought those feelings of insecurity up. It's magnified the feelings that are already there from when I was a little girl. And one of the things that I do wherever I live is that I find places in my home that I breathe differently. Have you ever done that? And I just walk around in quiet. A lot of times I have headphones on with brown noise, or I'm listening to a podcast or listening to a book. Oh, wait, squirrel. Oh, I'm bringing up right now the book I just finished. It's so good. I really liked it. Oh, I have a credit. Okay, let's see here. Let me go to it and find it. Quick scroll. Oh, I want to share with you that book. Why isn't it coming up? Oh, there we go. There we go. Right now, I'm listening. I've started on The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and it's been interesting. It's good. It's not great, but it's been good so far. But the one I just really liked and got carried away in the story is called Anita de Monte Laughs Last. Have you read that one? I can't get any of my family to read it or listen to it to talk to them about it. But anyway, so I don't have headphones. I'm not listening to a book. I don't have brown noise to help me focus. None of that. Just quiet. And I just walk around my home. And I notice the places that I breathe different, that I just feel calmer. And I found 3 places in my new home. One is on my front porch. I'm getting my front porch staged. Facebook Marketplace has been my friend as I've purchased a lot of things over the last week on Facebook Marketplace for my home. And I got a porch swing and some beautiful plants and some beautiful antique chairs and rugs. And I was setting that up to create this inviting space. And I looked over and there was the most beautiful view of the mountains. And I found myself just taking a big deep breath. That big deep breath changes the way magnesium flows in my body, helps me hold on to it. It's so tiny, tiny, small. But I know that I can now walk out onto that porch and my body will just naturally take a big, deep breath. It's peaceful. The view is beautiful. And I'm having a lot of fun creating. I found this big chandelier, a candle chandelier that I'll be putting battery light little twinkles in the holders and creating this space that people who come to my home hopefully walk into and feel that. Another one is upstairs in a room that is going to be a creation room for me. And I felt it there too, just this. And another one is back by my gate. It's backed up to an elementary school. And my little fur baby Louie loves it when he hears the bell ring for the elementary school and he goes tearing outside to talk to the kids. And it brings me great joy to see him interacting with those kids and them just talking to him and loving on this sweet little fur baby that's brought me such joy. Knowing those spaces, acknowledging those spaces will help me hold on to magnesium. So my question for you today is, what are your spaces? Have you taken a moment just to walk around in your home and to experience maybe for you, it's the relaxation in your shoulders. For me, my breath changes. And I just find myself taking a deeper breath. And then I'll look around and start asking myself why. My front porch, I think just the peace. I love front porches. I have ever since I married my husband. His mom had a front porch swing that my children would sit on with her while she read stories to them. And find those places. And when you acknowledge those small places that you can walk into, when stress hits me, we've had a major issue with the home that we didn't recognize before we bought it, and we're having to replace supports. It's a 1907, so we're replacing all of these support things because we ripped up the carpet and literally the carpet was holding the floor together. There was no floor. And so it's been a little bit stressful. We just didn't anticipate that level of expense. And so when it kind of hits, I know that I have places in my space that I can go to and take a big deep breath. And by doing that, I'm mastering my minerals. Breathing, gratitude, noticing the small things, building the relationship with my body, all helped me get from daily seizures in a wheelchair with my head being held up to waking up this morning so excited to come and do this live with you today. Ending magnesium deficiency by 2055. That is my goal and has been my goal since the company created itself. Living the Good Life Naturally created itself. And we have today is the last day of spring forward magnesium cell, because daylight savings time is a time that something that we didn't choose is happening, and it increases inflammation because of the change of light. That's how important light is to our inflammation levels. So soaking in magnesium, not just taking a pill. I saw there was a favorite things by someone, and it had a beautiful name on it that I thought, oh, I wish I would have named my magnesium that. But that magnesium isn't moving the interstitial spaces. And so I realized the marketing on it is beautiful, but behind it, it's not doing what magnesium can do. And my goal is to help educate people what soaking in magnesium, pure sea brine magnesium, not processed, what it can do to move interstitial spaces. stepping into that magnesium morning trifecta, collecting early morning sunshine, walking, soaking in magnesium, and maybe adding some chromium might be the missing piece to help you bring inflammation down, help re-regulate insulin receptors and glucose at the cellular level for your body, which will help you maintain voltage, decrease inflammation, helps you become less reactive. When you're less reactive, you show up as the person you're meant to be instead of this reactive ball of reactions, because we lose connections when we show up as stressed out shells of human beings. We lose connections, and healthy women are connected women. They're deeply connected to their own needs, and then in turn are able to deeply connect with the people that they love. And we immediately lift. Immediately, we lift others and we share our gifts. And when we do that, we make the world a better place. And more women need to be doing that. And I want to be a part of that solution. I want to be someone who is known for helping lift women. That's my entire goal here at Living the Good Life Naturally, is helping lift women, helping them tap into and remember how powerful they are, and being comfortable holding that power, because the way we breathe determines how minerals move through our body. It determines how minerals move through our body. And then I have something I'm so excited about that I have to tell you. And that is, several years ago, I think, was it 2018? My gosh, has it been that long? Has it been that long? I think it has. 2019. Anyway, I did magnesium classes. I used to do them all the time here in Cache Valley. In fact, one of the most attended magnesium classes, I misspelled one of the words, and instead of bring your own bowl, it said bring your own bowels. Oh, it was bad. And once you start a Facebook ad, you can't edit it or you lose the ad and you have to start over. And so I didn't change it because I only had so many days to run the ad. And so it said, bring your own bowels. Well, I would love for you to bring your entire body and a bowl. And I am going to be announcing the cities that I will be going to do magnesium soaking parties. They are fun. I think they're fun. I would love to have you come. I'm going to do 3 or 4 cities. I have a couple in mind of where I'd like to travel to. Some will be inside the state of Utah, but more will be outside the state of Utah. This is my opportunity to go outside the state of Utah. And so let me know. Do you think that your city is a city that we could get some people to show up to a magnesium party? In the past, I did them in Boise, Idaho, Seattle, Washington, Las Vegas, Nevada. Where else? And I did lots of small cities, but those were, I think, 3 of the big cities that I did them in. St. George, Utah, I've done them in quite often. But I am in the spring going back on the road, and we'll be doing some magnesium soaking parties. Is what we'll do is we'll have the cities all set up and they'll happen back to back. That's a little bit easier than doing one trip, coming home, doing another trip a month later, just taking a week and just hitting several cities. So, Houston, Kathy, do you think we could get enough people in Houston? One thing that I will be doing is looking at where our orders are coming from and seeing, okay, where's somewhere that there's enough orders coming from. Like, for example, the state of New York. We have a doctor there that is a bone specialist, and he is completely sold on the role that soaking in magnesium plays in restoring your magnesium calcium levels. And the state of New York, we sell so much magnesium because of him, because he talks about soaking in magnesium. So I'll be looking, but I will go check out Houston, Kathy. Wouldn't that be fun? And I always think and my goal is always to meet in real life. and connect in real life. Oh, Denver, Elizabeth, you're so kind. And we do need helpers at the magnesium soaking parties. And so usually is how we ran it last time is the tickets were free. It didn't cost anything, but you had to sign up because I needed to know like how big of a venue and how many people do I have to have. I will bring a couple of team with me, but we'll also need local people in the community to help us set up. Everybody needs to get the water in their bowls that they bring, and I will be triple checking my spelling on the ad. I will never again say bring your bowels to my magnesium party, but we do need locals that are helping us, and we reimburse you with some magnesium. We say, okay, here's a couple bottles of magnesium. I think probably this time I'll do the reimbursement will be the mag bundle for those local people that help us to get everybody set up with their towels and their bowls and the water and magnesium and soaking so that we can just talk all things magnesium throughout. And then, of course, my love language is gifts. And so I always give some things away at these parties, but I would love to know that. Oh my gosh. Oh, you do marketing, Elizabeth, and public relations. Oh, Elizabeth, we're going to be talking. And Denver. Oh, I love it. I love it. We used to own property in Colorado. I love Colorado. What a beautiful state. Okay, so I love that feedback. I appreciate it so much. And we will be announcing and setting those up and be thinking about it or sharing with people. And because the key to having these be successful is having enough people show up. It was so funny because Seattle was, I thought at the time, an absolute dismal failure. I had at that point, it was my family. They were unpaid slave laborers. And it was three of my kids and my husband and myself that would get everybody set up. And nobody had, well, not nobody. I think four people had signed up for Seattle, maybe five. Some of them didn't show. And there was three people in the class and five of my family members that were there. And I remember being a bit embarrassed and feeling like I'd wasted so precious resources of time, money, and energy to get this set up. And my husband looked at me and he said, Kristen, you have always said it doesn't matter if there's one or 1,000. One person touches thousands of people's lives. You never know who's going to be at this magnesium. It could be, he kept saying, it could be Melinda Gates. And she's going to soak in magnesium and she has a large platform and we'll talk about magnesium. Little did I know that it was Ashley James. And she was the first podcast that I went on as a guest talking about magnesium and literally changed the course and the history of the company because she fell in love with the magnesium, made such a difference for her in the class. And she broadcast it on a podcast that was like the number one podcast in natural health. And it literally changed the course of the company. And we went from basically the majority of our sales were in the Rocky Mountain area to all over the United States. And that's when we started, like, we get daily requests. Oh, please sell it in this country. Please sell it in this country. And it was from that pivotal point right there with Ashley. And so hopefully the opportunity for you is that we get to connect in person and really dive deep and learn about the connections of magnesium. And then the benefit for the company is it helps me reach new people and share with them my passion. And it helps keep me aligned with my goal of ending magnesium deficiency by 2055. It was delightful being with you today. I'm going to shout it out one more time. Spring forward sale ends today. Please go to livingthegoodlifenaturally.com, click on the sale items, and it will show you the sale. It ends tonight. Please, it ends tonight. And we've got the magnesium bundle on sale. We have the magnesium soak on sale. We have the muscle creams. We have the buy one, get one on the sprays. We have the lip balms. Lots of great things on sale, but it ends tonight. Elizabeth, I would love it if you would reach out to um, info@livingthegoodlifenaturally.com and share your information, your thoughts, and then we can be in touch with you. I would absolutely love that because right now I'm collecting data to get our magnesium soaking parties set up so that people can join us. And the cost of these are free. I provide the magnesium, you provide a bowl, BOWL, not your bowels, your bowl, and a towel. And then I provide the water and the magnesium, and we dive really deep on some magnesium connections, like the one we talked about today. Chromium and magnesium, they go hand in hand. You might be missing some chromium if your magnesium you don't think is giving you full benefit because of an oversaturation of glucose, which causes an oversaturation of insulin, which disconnects your receptor and throws that whole balance. And chromium, along with magnesium, is the key to bringing that regulatory process back together at the cellular level. I'll see you on Wednesday, and we'll talk more things, all things magnesium, right here on Wednesday. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.